All right, you guys. So we're going to talk about today's protest in Lynchburg. To truly understand this, we need to unpack this all the way from the beginning. So, back in college, the governor of Virginia, before he even knew he was going to run as governor, decided to take a picture at a party one day while he was dressed in blackface and standing next to another person that was dressed like a KKK member. Back in 2017, 2018, this whole situation came to light after he had been voted into office as governor. And it was heavily scrutinized. A lot of people weighed in on it, and it was deemed that he was still non biased enough to be the governor of Virginia. His actions then were wrong. It was very stated among the black community that what he said and what he did back then was wrong. And it was also deemed that he had actually changed and his views and his lifestyle to be able to become a better person. Because if we're going to be honest, we've all done some stupid, dumb crap in our lives that we need to make atonement for. And while it was racist, again, we still, as a community, allowed him to be in office and accepted his apology. Whereas this whole situation got murky and disgusting is the fact that Jerry Falwell Jr., who sits on the board with Liberty because he's, of course, an inherited of his father's pretty much dynasty of bullcrap that has been a cancer to Lynchburg forever. But that my personal feelings aside. The problem that comes in was when Nordum decided to make the ordinance for masks to be a requirement for bit to go into businesses, such as going to Walmart, Target, blah, blah, who cares? Like, he made it a requirement to actually wear them inside of buildings. So Falwell, being the dummy he is, stated that the only way he would wear one was with the image of Nordum's face in blackface as the on his mask as the image. Well, everybody has been dragging the hell out of Falwell for this for the last few days and extremely just disgusted by that because for a joke and a jab at Nordum, he decided to use the black community as a point to do it, which was absolutely stupid and deplorable on his part, but hey, what do we expect from a man that uses anti-gay speech and racist slurs himself, as well as his comment that went viral and was a disgust to the nation when he stated that his students should carry guns to shoot Muslims? But hey, we expected that from Falwell, didn't we? Yeah. But they, of course, hide behind the cloak of Christianity that they like to believe is a whole thing that we can't see through. The problem that came in with Fifth and Federal is the fact that the owner of Fifth and Federal decided to co-sign Falwell's crap and state that he wanted to wear these masks and purchase them for him, not just himself, but also for his employees, meaning that he continued the racist joke that Falwell had already started at the expenditure of the black community for the fact that he thinks it's funny to give his employees masks that hold a picture of blackface on it and not expect that his customers would have any offense to this, let alone the black staff that work in his building. Okay, so let's unpack that right there, sir. You thinking it's okay to co-sign a racist joke on a public forum such as Twitter was dumb. That was beyond dumb. That was not ignorant. Ignorant is to be without knowledge. You were dumb. And you deserve it. So stand in your shit. So while Apocalypse Ale out in Bedford has already severed ties with them, let's ask Cisco, Cavalier, and Connors, and other companies that supply food, beverages, as well as the local breweries in this county, in all this area. Let's ask them, what are you gonna do? Are you still gonna supply to somebody who acts like this? Because I guarantee you that's just complete crap. And you don't want you should not want your business associated with that. But for all that, for people concerning that one, please go to their sites and email them stating that they should not do business with them. And you can actually do research on other businesses that support him. Other investors, such as private investors, they've been weighing in on the topics too. And a lot of them have cut off ties with them as well. So if you don't know what businesses do with that is in order to keep your business thriving, you have to have other people in on them if you're not filthy rich. So In order to make money, you got to spend other people's money. And right now, they don't want to spend money with him. So just keep that in mind with when you want to talk about where it goes, where this money is coming from. Today was a peaceful protest at the beginning. I did stop by and I supported the people earlier today because they were holding up signs and they were chanting Black Lives Matter as well as that cancel Fifth and Federal, because that was a disgusting action. However, as the night turned and it was time for the employees to leave, of course there's concerns about the employees leaving. So no protester should have impeded the exiting of any employee or the owner of the company from leaving the property. But what happened was that the owner of the property decided to brandish a weapon tonight and start threatening the protesters. So, therefore, the cops got involved, which, of course, we understand when weapons are involved, that happens. But as the night turned from that, when when all of that happened, the police showed up and things started to take a nasty turn, that's when it stopped being a protest. And I'm saying that because the fact that it turned into a dead hate match tonight, where people were destroying that building for, the building didn't do anything to you. That's actually a historic building, and that was pretty stupid of you guys to do that. However, the classic cars in there, I was pretty hurt that they actually got broke, because those were some beautiful cars. But anyway, I'm not going to condemn the people who are out there breaking things, because out of all of those protesters, if you look on the video, there's only about 10 doing damage to anything. But for those 10, that wasn't cool. For the kid that jumped on top of the cop car and started smashing it up, not cool. But do I feel bad for the owner of Fifth and Federal for the damage he's got to deal with, and the fact that he's taking not only the huge loss when it comes to the profit of the business, as well as the damage that's coming along with all of the protests that happened today and all the damage that came tonight? No, I don't, because you should have just shut up and ate your food. In all honesty, you should have shut up and sat down. If you thought what Falwell said was funny, you should have chuckled to yourself and kept it there. Because in such a racially tense climate right now and what's going on across our nation, you didn't think for one moment to not bend your thumbs to say something so stupid, so callous, and so demeaning to an entire race of people? That shows that you had no wherewithal to shut up. And that was embarrassing on your part. The other part of this is you also released a half-assed apology to everyone stating that you don't condone racism or its actions. Well, clearly by your first tweet, you did. And now you're dealing with the consequences of that. For people saying that the protesters and the people that were out there tonight damaging the community, they did not damage the community. They literally damaged the buildings that belong to that one individual. Because as you see on it, there is a free healthcare clinic across the street and one right next to it, as well as there's a Dollar General and a coffee shop on the next corner. If they were damaging the community without any thought, they would have broke those buildings too. But instead, it was an isolated incident to one individual and making sure his business hurt. So, was it a protest? No, not really. It started as one, but it ended up being a pretty much just bash it all up thing. But as far as it goes, do better. Literally everybody in the situation involved, from Nordum for doing the initial action, for Falwell, you need to just shut the hell up. In all honesty, somebody at Liberty needs to tell Falwell to shut the hell up. But, dude, you learned your lesson, and just leave it there. Dude, cancel your apology tour. Nobody's buying that shit. Nobody wants to hear an apology. Nobody wants to see it. Sit down, pay for the damages that you got to deal with, and call it a day. And don't do it again. And to the people protesting, please, no more damage. Just literally, let's keep it here. Lynchburg is too small to be breaking up shit. But let's reset. Let's figure this out again, and let's be better overall. And we're not gonna do that again. All right? Let's keep it better.